Hey, good morning everyone. Welcome to my channel. It's the last week of September and we're trying to get ready for a craft show that we hope is going to be going on at the end of November. I've turned a whole bunch of Christmas trees and now we're going to try to turn some snowmen. We're not sure if the craft sale is going on because of COVID, but we're going to try to get ready for it anyway. So yeah, so you can turn snowmen out of any wood you want. I've been using a bunch of scrap wood and some actual limb wood that I've had sitting down in the basement for probably a year and a half, so it's fairly dry. So I just cut it up into the lengths I want. I've got a bunch of soft maple here, and I'm going to turn some snowmen out of soft maple, and you can turn these any way you want, any size you want, any shape you want. Just leave it up to you on how you want to do them. And yeah, so I just turn these in between centers. And this is a fairly light wood, so snowmen are going to turn out fairly light. But you can, like I say, you can use any wood you want. So I just mount it in between centers. Now this wood here, the bark is fairly stable on the wood, so you should be able to turn it without peeling the bark off. Some wood you want to take the bark off, so as you go to turn, it's not flying around and hitting you, or flying up and breaking lights or whatever. But this should be fine on this wood. I'm just going to turn the tenon on the end of this so that I can put it in my chuck later and just finish off the top of the hat. So I'm just switching to my steer channel. There we go. As you can see, there's a little bit of bark left on here. That's fine. You can just give this a quick sanding. I'm going to touch it up a little bit more with the skew chisel. And yeah, then we give it a light sanding, turn it around, clean up the top of the hat, and there you have a snowman. There we go. Now I would give this a quick sanding, or I can flip it around and do that afterwards. Normally what I would do is I would turn a bunch of these at one time, put the tenon on, and then take my center out and finish them all off one after another, instead of doing what I'm going to do here. But if you bring your tailstock up, center it, tighten up your chuck, then should be centered. And I can move my tailstock out of the way, and I can just finish off the top of the hat here. And you can put as much detail in the hat as you want. I'm just going to clean up the top. You could put a hat band in if you wanted to, or with a little bit of a groove. You could hollow this out more if you wanted to, or there you go. You can just give this a quick sanding. And just cart it off. There we go. And snowman. Now I usually finish these with beeswax and mineral oil, but you can put a shiny finish on it, a friction polish on it, whatever you like to finish it off. So yeah, that's one of the many snowmen I'll be turning between now and the end of November, along with a bunch of Christmas trees. And another thing you could turn is angels. And again, the angels I do the same way. I just, of course, whatever wood you want to use. You use little angels. You could use little pieces of scrap. I mean, I have a little block. I think this is actually a piece of ash that we could throw in here, and I could turn a quick angel. Like I say, what I would do is when I'm turning these, because I'm turning so many, I would turn 10 or 15 at a time between centers, and then take the center out and put them in my chuck just to finish them off if need be. And these are items I'm turning for a craft show, so I don't usually spend a lot of time putting a great finish on them. When you use a skew chisel, I mean, you're getting pretty fine finish on them anyway, but these are one of those items that you try to turn, bring the people in. Hopefully they like the price you're selling them at, and they come in and they buy something, one of your better pieces. These are fun little projects to do. You can leave the design up to your imagination, and they're quick and fun to do. And again, if you're turning these, you can turn with whatever chisel you're comfortable using. I think the right chisel is the chisel you're the most comfortable with. You want to bring the halo up? You can do that. Like I say, the less sanding you have to do, the better. That's pretty simple. What I would do is I would cut this off with a coping saw, then put it back in the chuck and finish off the top of the head. And it's smooth enough, as you can see, that it hardly even needs any sanding at all. And what I would do with this is I would just put a oil finish on. Oil and beeswax finish. I'd make this up myself. This will give you some idea of what it's going to look like. There we go. And let that soak in for a few minutes. Give it one more coat. And there you go. You have a tiny little angel that you can put on a table for display or for sale. And yeah, they're items that bring the people over to your table, and they're cheap enough that people spend a few bucks and buy them, and it doesn't take you much to make them. And if you're using up some of your scrap wood, or yeah, so yeah, that's all there is to it. Yeah, here's a variety of some of the snowmen I've made. I hope to have about 50 snowmen. I think right at the moment I have. I'm working on my 300th Christmas tree. Will be the next number that I do. Fun projects to do. Then they're a little bit of a money maker. So yeah, if you like this video and you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And thanks for watching. See you next time.